The soft hum of the aircraft's engines filled the luxurious first-class cabin as Mohamed Salah settled into his seat. He had boarded a flight from London to Dubai, seeking a brief escape after a demanding football season. His body ached from months of relentless training and matches, but the exhaustion was nothing new. It was part of the price he paid to stay at the top. Despite his global fame, Salah remained humble. Dressed in a casual hoodie and sweatpants, he moved without arrogance, greeting the flight attendants and flashing his signature warm smile to fellow passengers. His humility often caught people off guard. Many expected arrogance from someone of his stature. But that wasn't him. What Salah didn't know, however, was that someone on board wasn't too pleased about sharing a flight with him. A pilot's prejudice. Captain Richard Hayes had spent more than 2 decades soaring through the skies. He had transported politicians, business tycoons, and Hollywood stars. None of them impressed him. But if there was one group of people he particularly disliked, it was footballers. To Hayes, they were nothing more than overpaid entertainers who contributed little to the world. He had never understood why millions idolized athletes when real heroes, doctors, scientists, firefighters, and yes, pilots, worked tirelessly to keep the world running. As he walked through the first-class cabin on his way to the restroom, he spotted Salah sitting comfortably by the window. A flight attendant had just handed him a glass of orange juice, and the two exchanged pleasantries before she walked away, visibly excited to have served him. The sight irked the pilot. Shaking his head, he decided to speak his mind. The confrontation. Stepping closer to Salah's seat, the pilot cleared his throat and spoke loudly enough for nearby passengers to hear. "Ah, the great Mohamed Salah. Tell me, do you actually do anything besides running after ball?" A few passengers looked up, sensing the tension. Some exchanged nervous glances. Others leaned in slightly, curious about how Salah would react. Salah, who had been listening to music through his headphones, removed them and looked up. His deep brown eyes met the pilot's with calm curiosity, not hostility. "I'm sorry," he asked politely. The pilot smirked. "I mean, people treat footballers like heroes. But real heroes are doctors, firefighters, and pilots, people who actually contribute to society. You guys just entertain." A hush fell over the first-class cabin. The air grew thick with anticipation. Some passengers shifted uncomfortably, unsure whether the pilot was joking or genuinely trying to belittle the footballer. Salah could have responded with anger. He could have mocked the pilot back or dismissed him. But instead, he did something no one expected. He smiled. A lesson in humility. "You're right," Salah said, nodding. "Pilots are essential. Without you, we wouldn't even be on this flight." The pilot blinked, momentarily thrown off. He had expected defensiveness, maybe even arrogance. But he hadn't anticipated this level of composure. Salah continued, his voice steady and warm. "But you see, footballers have a role too. We inspire. We bring people together. A single goal can unite a divided nation. A single act of kindness can change a life. Just like a pilot carries passengers safely to their destinations, we carry dreams. Everyone has a purpose." The words hung in the air. The cabin, which had moments ago been tense, now carried a different energy, one of reflection. Some passengers who had initially smirked now nodded in agreement. Even the flight attendants, who had been quietly observing, exchanged impressed glances. The pilot opened his mouth as if to say something, but no words came. For years, he had dismissed footballers as mere entertainers, failing to see the impact they had on millions. But in this moment, he saw Salah differently. not just as a football star, but as a role model, a symbol of hope for countless people. A change of heart. The pilot exhaled slowly. You know, he admitted, his tone softer now, I may have judged too quickly. I'll admit I don't watch much football. But after this, I might just start. Salah chuckled and extended his hand. Let me know if you ever want tickets. The pilot hesitated, then clasped Salah's hand in a firm shake. As he walked away, heading back toward the cockpit, he found himself smiling. Sometimes, the people we try to bring down are the very ones who lift us up.